I'm sitting with Lola from Push Group. Push has been Push was one of Kadra's first clients ever. We've been working with them for over 5 years now. Lola, can you give us a brief introduction into who you are and how you fit in at Push?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Lola Fidiya. I'm the People and Culture Director here at Push. And my remit covers things such as recruitment, but mainly to do with our talent acquisition strategy, advising on that, as well as employee engagement and well-being, as well as everything operational. So HR operations, such as dealing with policies, as well as creating loads of initiatives that keep our people engaged and retained. So that's a really fun role that I have here. I say fun because not every day is the same, but certainly when it comes to what I do, it's about identifying great people to come and work for a great company and ensuring they stay on board and are happy whilst they're with us. That's what I do.
Excellent. Yeah, great intro. So over the past 5 years, Push has hired well over a dozen people through Kadraa and in the South African market specifically. Can you give us your insights into why, as a company, you guys have explored the South African market?
I think Kadraa had a really strong positioning anyway. So our relationship, as you said, has lasted 5 years. I think you, from the perspective of Kadraa, have done a really good job at being able to give us great profiles around individuals in the South African market. So I think quite early on, we really brought into that because you did a really good job at positioning top talent out there. And once we had a few roles that were on board in the earlier years, it became very clear to us that, again, being able to engage with people who are of great talent, who also are the same kind of time zone as us, meant that we had an easier access to top talent that we might not necessarily have had in the UK, because again, there's multiple layers into our talent acquisition strategy. And one thing that we really thoroughly invest in the UK is growing our own. So identifying people and having a great graduate program that then elevates into great training programs that elevate to other promotions, and therefore developing our own. So we were heavily invested in that. And so therefore we relied on another strategy by using Kadraa by being able to access top talent at a more mid and senior level. And it meant that we could rely on that quite heavily because Kadraa had done the due diligence themselves in identifying those people. And we also found that we did get people that had a close match to our behavioural competencies. So we felt quite early on heavily invested in that strategy alongside our grow your own strategy. And so therefore, it's been really good, and it's something that we'll probably continue to use because I think the work has been done in seeing South Africa as a really good talent landscape.
Yeah, awesome. And just for context, some of our newer clients, or prospective clients, are a bit hesitant, like they don't know the South African market, they don't know what's available, and they don't really know what they're going to get if they decide to use Kadraa and use South Africa as a talent destination.
Yeah.
Can you give your opinion on how the South African hires, just from a skills perspective, have performed in comparison to those hires that you guys make in some of your other regions like the UK?
Okay. Whilst I can't necessarily comment on whether there's been any distinct difference, I would say it's been on par. So I don't think we've ever had to look at the South African talent market any differently to the UK. I think we've been able to identify top talent. And I feel as though in the South African market, as I spoke about previously, the behavioural competencies are there. They're in line with what we need. So we are finding people who are resilient. We are finding people who are open and trustworthy. So I think these are key indicators for us that we're already witnessing in those areas. And that's something that I think will continue as we continuously review our talent acquisition strategy. Those things will remain very much needed in terms of who we look for. And as I said, I don't think up until this point, the South African talent has disappointed us in any way. And so therefore we're very happy, and it's on par with what we would expect from the UK talent landscape as well.
Awesome. Awesome. So my final question, I think you've covered a lot of this already. So if you don't have any more to add, that's absolutely fine. But a lot of our prospective clients are smaller agencies that haven't really considered offshoring, and they've got a lot of reservations about it. They don't know what to expect or will happen. For some of those smaller agencies who do have these like reservations and they're scared to make the next step or try something different, have you got anything worth mentioning to them, or any advice that you would give someone like that?
Yeah. So I think the biggest thing I would champion is anything that promotes diversity and inclusion as a whole. So I think you want to be able to ensure that your workforce is best placed to, nurture new ideas, as well as, create an environment whereby you've not just got one set way of thinking. That's when you, particularly as a small business or an agency in a market, that's when you're the most disruptive. That's when you're able to make most progression, when you've got such different views from different people, and ensuring that you have created a space that includes those thoughts, because I think that's where the real work starts to take place. So I would always encourage you to look at diversifying your workforce, and with strategies that Kadraa has in place, which is they're already going out there and identifying top talent. Why not lean on resources out there? Lean on people who are already doing the work. Don't make this a cost burden on yourself about looking at, finding ways to find top talent that may come at a real cost to your business. Maybe lean on resources that are already out there. So lean on, people like yourselves, agents like yourself who are already going out there and doing the groundwork, and then allow you to have that diversity and inclusion that you very much need in a business to ensure that you're standing out from the rest.
Awesome. I think they'll find that really useful.
No worries, I'm
Awesome.
glad.
Lola, if there's nothing else you want to add, that's everything else I wanted to ask.
Perfect.
Super grateful to you and Push for agreeing to chat with us and do this testimonial for us. And we'll catch you later. Thank you so much.
No worries at all. No, this comes very easy. I think it's been really great working with Kadraa. Actually, I think there is a real ways of working we have with one another, and it's like you almost really understand our own ways of working in terms of our processes, as well as keeping that client relationship going. So I'm really grateful for all of the work that you do